Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Josh and Jay's Tips. Okay. Hey guys, today we're going to talk to you a little bit about consultations and what to expect from them and what is a good consultation and maybe what a bad one might look like. Do you have anything to say on this topic? What do you think a good consultation is?
So anyway, it's good to be organized for obvious reasons when you're going into a consultation with a client. You want to make sure that you have everything mapped out. You want to make sure that you've definitely gone through the client's previous or like current website that they might have, if they do have a current website. You want to know kind of the ins and outs of it so that you can offer them some advice on what to do moving forward. You want to show the client that you truly do have some direction for them, and that you've done your homework before going into the consultation. So really keeping your thoughts organized, and being confident when you're offering these tips or these things that you think your client should do with their new website, because then you're offering them a good value and a good service.
Another thing to keep in mind is what your client likes and dislikes about their site. There might be things on their current site that they actually really like and they want to keep, and there might be things they just want to completely scrap. We've seen everything in between. We've seen them liking most of their site, they just want a few things tweaked, or they just want a full tear down, which we see a lot of as well. Always keep that in mind when going into any consultation, whether you're giving the consultation or you're on the receiving end of it. You want to make sure that your likes and dislikes are really clearly made, and what should be kept is kept, and what needs to be discarded and redone is clearly outlined.
And another thing is, if you're offering the client some advice or some things that you don't necessarily like with their current website, make sure that you have a plan for them moving forward. Like, don't give them a criticism and not have an answer to fix the problem on their current site. You want to make sure that you're actually offering solutions rather than just saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Just pose it in a way that's like, okay, how can we make this better?
Right. And to go off of that, it's also really important to have them identify what they believe needs to be fixed with the site before you go in and start tearing it apart, because there might have been things that they've requested in the past to be added to their site that you're criticizing at first, and to build that good relation and that good rapport with them, you want them to lead that discussion of what they like and what they don't like, and then you can come in after and either agree or disagree and give your valid points, because then that'll kind of open their eyes, and instead of them becoming defensive on their own site, they're more receptive to your criticism.
Totally, yeah. And I think that kind of leads us into our next point, which is make sure to listen to the client's needs first, which is exactly what Josh said. Be an active listener, take notes. We like to use a notepad. We feel like it's good to pull up your old website on your laptop so that you can scroll through it and show them what's good, what's bad, what you think needs to be changed. However, it kind of turns people off, I think, when you're just typing the whole time and you have a screen in front of your face. So make sure to bring like a notepad to jot notes down regarding revisions that they want. Take in everything they're saying before you start giving them advice and feedback.
Exactly, and come prepared to this meeting. So typically if you have a consultation with us, we're gonna have maybe a couple pages of notes already done for your site. We already know kind of what we don't like, what needs to be done, and we're just waiting for you to tell us, what you want actually fixed.
So we also wanted to talk to you guys about selling your service to the client without giving a sales pitch. Everything is about giving, obviously, value and content rather than projecting the vibes of I'm selling you this. So when you go into this consultation, make sure that you're really painting a vivid picture of the client's brand as you see in the future. So make sure you show them that you have a vision, but keep their vision in mind from when they tell you about like what they want added to their site or taken away from it. By painting a verbal picture of the client's brand or future for their brand, you're really selling your service and your vision to them without explicitly saying that this is what I'm selling you, without giving a sales pitch.
Right. We can tell you guys about the services that we offer and how we want to help, but you're never going to see us try to force you into either web maintenance contracts, social media, management contracts. Like, we're going to offer them to you and say like we highly recommend, or for some clients we said we don't recommend certain things. We are here for you, and we are going to offer everything we can to fit your brand's needs.
So next, what we want to talk to you about regarding the consultation phase is obviously giving a quote to your client. Once you gather all their thoughts, make sure to gather your thoughts on everything. Every website is different with what they need to be put into it. So some websites for brands might have massive galleries where you have to add tons of photos. They might want to connect their Instagram. They might want a GPS on there. They might want to be able to
e-commerce,
yeah, Shopify. So obviously each website takes a different amount of time to build. So just know your own value too. Know what you should be charging in order to receive fair compensation for the project. But for us, we like to price it fairly. We work with a lot of small businesses. So, and us being small startup too, we understand what that's like.
I like to think our quotes are pretty comprehensive. We start off with figuring out how long this project's gonna take. We also consider how many pages are going to be built, whether this is something that's 2 to 3 pages or 5 to 10 or even more. So that definitely is a factor into our own quote, as well as what kind of add-ons that you guys want, whether it's e-commerce, maps, GPS, whatever it is. Like, there's a ton of different add-ons to every individual site, and obviously every brand needs specific add-ons. So we take all this into consideration and we crunch some numbers, and within 24 hours we typically get back to you with a quote.
Yes, and another really important thing when you're giving a quote to a client is that don't go back on your word. We don't price by hours, we price by the whole project, because sometimes web designers or web developers get away with this whole, well, it ended up taking me 25 hours instead of 20 hours, so let's add on another X amount to your final balance that's due. And no, we don't do that. I think that's really shady of people to do that. When we first started up, we're kind of experimenting with what was better, like hours versus charging for the project. And if you've done your homework and you've met with the client, or at least given them a comprehensive call, you should have a very detailed, specific quote for the project without having to modify your quote later. So that kind of ties in with knowing your worth, knowing just what's going to go into it. And that comes with experience. We were experimenting with pricing too. So it takes time, but you'll get into a groove to where you're going to know how long a specific project is probably going to take you.
So thank you guys for listening. We hope that this was helpful to you, and until next time.